Hi guys, this is Matthew speaking for Alpha Hunters, Alpha Shooters International, and we are today here at Swarovski Optics in Austria, and next to me stands Matthew from Swarovski Optics, and he will present to you the new Z8i Plus series, the Riflescope series. Matthew?
All right, so the Z8i Plus series of riflescopes is the next generation of our already well-known driven hunt riflescopes that we've had in the past. So that's covering the 0.75 to 6 by 20 and 1 to 8 by 24 magnifications. So in the past, we had these scopes in our normal 30 millimeter line, and now we're rolling them out in a 34 millimeter variant in order to increase the field of view, increase the ergonomics of the scope itself, and to increase the overall performance of the scope during driven hunts in different locations.
Yeah, you already mentioned the ergonomics, the eye box. Can you tell us the advantage of the new eye box?
Everybody knows that problem when you go quickly into your shooting position and you don't have a full field of view in your rifle scope, and you have to either move the rifle around, move your head around to actually see what you're wanting to either look at or shoot at.
And when you have finished, the aim is gone.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
So in this case, we changed the ocular on our scope to make it so that the area behind the scope where you're able to position your eye is larger, so that you're able to get a more consistent view through the rifle scope. So that means you can get into a shooting position more quickly, you can find your game more quickly, and you're able to take a much more quicker and ethical shot. Okay.
Can you tell us something about the range between the 1 times and the 0.75 area? You have a haptical notch.
Yep.
Can you call it like this?
Exactly. Yeah. So it would almost be called like a rest or something like that. You would normally see that on our parallax turrets. But in this case, we built it into the magnification ring, and that works so that when you're having to quickly change your magnification during a stressful situation, you realize that you've hit that one-time magnification before you go into the this under 1 magnification. And that's important because the under 1 magnification is really great for very short distance shots. But however, it may be too much when you're trying to shoot at, say, 30 or 40 meters. So we wanted to have it there at this 1 times position so that you know before you go into this magnification area and you don't have to look at the scope. That means you can just automatically say, okay, I'm at 1 and then shoot. Okay.
Another thing what's really interesting is the really big field of view. In percentage, how many you improved it, scope?
Yeah, so with the 0.75 to 6, we have about a 15.6% improvement over our previous scopes. And with the 1 to 8 by 24, we actually have a 17.6% increase. That's of course compared at 100 meters in the lowest magnification. But the thing is, you also have that improvement all the way through the magnification range. It's not just that we increase the field of view at the lowest magnification.
Okay, and which advantage I have on the hunt? For example, like on the driven hunt.
So it works on 2 sides. So if you are at that lowest magnification, you're going to have that much more field of view at the shorter distances, so that you're able to see much more information.
Okay.
The other side is, if you're shooting at a longer distance, you're able to go up to a higher magnification, get a higher level of detail without reducing your field of view. So with the previous scope, you might only shoot up to, say, a 2 power or a 2.5 power. With this scope, you may be able to go up to, say, 3.5 or so and have the same field of view, but more information. So very similar to what we did with our NL Pure, where we have almost the same field of view at the higher magnifications that we previously had at the lower magnifications.
Okay. I have another question is for me, or what's interesting from the perspective from a photographer, you call the range about 45 to 50 millimeters, the normal focal length. What your eye vision is the most sufficient eye vision from a human being. So and everything underneath is called like a wide-angle wide-angle lens. Is this also a wide-angle lens, or this is work differently?
No, it works differently. So you can't take the same optical parameters from a camera and apply it to a scope. So the way that they're set up is simply different. So when we're talking about typical optics for binoculars or scopes, when we talk about wide angle, we're normally referencing the ocular side angle as opposed to the front. So normally when we talk about wide-angle lenses with scopes or binoculars, it's actually the ocular side, and that would be over a 60-degree ocular side field of view. And in this case, we don't have that in the ocular. Yes, we do have a much wider field of view in the front, but it's not something that we would define as being wide-angle. So we don't have the same compromises as you would have with a wide-angle lens, where the edges of the field of view start getting distorted. So either the color gets distorted or the actual sharpness. So you're able to have the same level of quality as you would expect from our previous driven hunt scopes.
Okay, and another interesting fact is that a lot of guys out there are using driven hunt scopes in combination with thermal imaging devices. Can you tell us something about the advantage of this particular rifle scope in combination with a thermal imaging device?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, with a clip-on device, you're actually looking at a display as opposed to having a thermal optic. So whenever you zoom in with your scope, you're actually zooming in on the display. So that means the field of view of your rifle scope plays a role with how well you're able to use your thermal device. So that means the more field of view that you have from your rifle scope, the more you're going to be able to see on the display in your thermal device. So that means that when you're using a lower powered scope with a larger field of view, you're going to be able to get more out of your thermal device as well. So as you increase your magnification with the scope, you start zooming in on the display and you start cutting off parts of, not cutting off, but you reduce what you're able to see on the display. With this larger field of view, that means also as you zoom in, you're still going to be seeing more of that thermal data on the display than what you would with a normal rifle scope. The other benefit is a lot of times with clip-on devices, once you get into higher magnifications, you start to see the pixels on the display. And normally, at least in my experience, that happens around 8 or 10 power. So that means with these scopes, you're not going to accidentally go into too high of a magnification where you're not going to be able to see what you're actually looking at in the display.
You launched this rifle scope, I think, a couple of weeks ago. You presented the first time to the audience, but you have also another nice product, what we are featuring in this video. You are going into the model business, I guess, with your new gear clothing.
Exactly. So we thought with these rifle scopes, it would be a great chance to expand our gear line. So that's the normal clothing items that we sell. And we thought it'd be a great opportunity to have some really tailor-made products for the driven hunt. So in this case, we have a number of options. Two of the most exciting are a new baseball cap in blaze orange. But one of the benefits of this, you might think, yeah, how can a cap be something new? But in this case, we actually did away with the button that's on top of the hat. So that way, when you're wearing your hearing protection, you're not going to get a headache after, let's say, a few hours of having that button pushed into the top of your head. On top of that, we also designed and produced our own driven hunt vest. So of course, safety is a big factor with driven hunts. So we designed a blaze orange vest that has additional technical features like having a cartridge holder in one of the pockets. There are cuts on the side so that you're able to access the pockets of your normal jacket. And of course, we did all of this also in the Swarovski Optik style, so to say. So there are some nice design elements and smaller, finer points that bring benefits to the customer.
Okay. And before we end this video, when is this available in the stores? Do you have any
Yep, so we have launched the products. They are able to be ordered, and we're planning on starting delivery right at the beginning of September. If we're lucky, maybe we'll have them out a little bit earlier, but that's a bit of information that I can't quite give out yet.
Okay.
But latest start of September.
And if I want to know more about that really nice future of the Riflescope and the gear, I have to look on which website?
Yeah, so all of the information is available on our Swarovski Optik website. Right now you'll find all of the information about the Z8i Plus very prominent on the start page, assuming that you're on the hunting, the hunting page. However, I assume the majority of your viewers will know that already. So there you'll find all the technical specifications, some really nice photos and videos about the product actually in use. The same goes for our driven hunt gear articles. With the gear articles, you're actually able to go ahead and order those now. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to get gear articles sent out than rifle scopes.
Okay, then I say thank you very much, and you check it out.